right. We're live. Yay. I remember the first time. Have you ever done StreamYard before?
No.
Yeah. So the first time I did StreamYard, I'll make you laugh. My teeth were black.
Oh.
Because I have this fade thing you have to do. And I'm really pink right now because I had to put a pink shade over my whatever, because it was drawing a line.
Oh,
You
okay.
know how the shades sometimes draw a line?
Right.
Yay, here it is. Hi, and welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Our next guest is the visionary owner and founder of Aspiringedge Wellness. You know what? With over 30 years of expertise in the wellness industry, she is a certified Reiki master, transformational coach, and the author of Heal the Pain. You know what? She combines her professional knowledge and her personal journey of overcoming profound challenges to help you, all the others in the world, heal and transform and embrace their inner strength. Help me give a warm welcome to Donna Blanchard.
Hi
Welcome,
there.
Donna.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. This is an honor.
This is going to be fun, I
It
promise. I
is.
love doing these interviews and finding
Oh,
out more about you guys.
right. And it's an opportunity to share what we do and how we can help each other.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So let's begin by having you just give me just a little bit. What inspired you to become the amazing entrepreneur that you are today?
It actually has to do with my own personal healing journey. And just a little bit of background, I was raised with mother, father, three sisters. And at the age of 15, my mother left the home with no word, no warning. So I was totally blindsided. And at that age, I had a nervous breakdown, which I was like totally shocked that, such a thing would happen to such a young girl. So I had a nervous breakdown. And then later on, I learned that my mother had left for another woman. And back in the 70s, that, what it was taboo, it wasn't talked about, it wasn't accepted. So it was a very challenging time for me. And then from there, I developed a severe eating disorder. I had two failed marriages, numerous betrayals, and I just went down this path of self-sabotaging. And then in my 30s, after I had my two children, I decided I needed help. So I reached out to a therapist. I was in recovery for a good 3 or 4 years. And that's what sparked my interest to help others. And that's how I got on my business journey of opening Aspiringedge.
Wow. So it started at 15. You went through
Yes,
a whole transitional phase
right.
for like 15 years.
Exactly. 15 years of struggling, just, a couple of suicide attempts. I just couldn't pull myself out of the dark hole. And then,
So,
sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, and then once I had children and I found I was still struggling, I realized I can't do this to them. I need to be a role model. And that's when I reached out for help.
So what did you find the thing that helped the most? Was it you transforming your thought process,
Yeah.
Reiki? What exactly was
I
it?
would say even just releasing the emotions, like the anger from the betrayal that I felt from my mother, the abandonment, and just even shame, shame living with my mother was a lesbian, shame of what I had done to myself in terms of eating disorder. I went through a phase at a very young age of self mutilation, which I didn't discover until I was in therapy when I started to open the memories. So that's when I recognized, definitely I needed help, and that's the path I went down, and I was totally committed until I recovered from the eating disorder. I made a decision to stay out of relationships because, of course, through your 20s and 30s, I was in and out of relationships because I was looking for love in all the wrong places, you know?
I
And
was
then
going to say it, but I decided not to. So yeah.
right? So then after, when I was in my recovery, I'm okay, I have to stay on my own. I have to focus on myself. I have to create self-love. And that's what I did. And, the end result of that was I did finally meet the man of my life, and I've been with him for 27 years.
Oh, so sweet. I love that.
Right. But it was just understanding, why I was behaving the way I was, and what was I attracting unhealthy people into my life.
So how do you find that? I know this is such a hard thing to talk about, especially when you're women. And I mean, it's not weak women this stuff happens to. I mean, it's very
Right.
strong women, and to
Exactly.
overcome it, they have to be strong.
Right.
So can you tell us maybe some signs that they might see? I know the eating disorder could, I mean, sometimes people recognize it, sometimes people don't.
Right. Right. And I didn't, because I had that behavior for like 15, 20 years. And then what happens is it becomes a secret, and you start hiding it from people because people start noticing, your weight loss or your eating habits. So then you start lying about it. And it was when I lost total control, where, I couldn't eat. I was focused on the scales. And that's when I recognized I was using that as a coping mechanism, because my life was out of control, but I knew I could control my eating. So
Either a little or a lot.
exactly, exactly. That's right. That's right. Yes. And the other signs would have been my anger. I had explosive anger issues, especially in relationships, because the fear of being abandoned by the person I was involved with. And I was, just so explosive. And that was another sign I was on the wrong path.
So who do you specialize your treatment with, your transformational treatment with?
Young girls and women, because I believe, and again, because I have the experience myself as a young child and a woman, that I believe my expertise and my experience can help other young girls and women find transformation as well.
That's so true, because we are all in a place where we can, especially being in business,
Right.
and the next question goes hand in hand with this. What you do is, because this is one of the hardest things,
Right.
is you've been in business for over 30 years.
Right.
How do you balance the demands of your personal life and professional life in running a business full time?
Well, what I do is I have my calendar, and I have my set times where I'm open for business, like coaching and Reiki sessions. And I literally block out time for myself, whether I'm going to aquafit or for a walk. I block out times on my schedule just so I know I'm getting balance. And then as well, on weekends, I make sure it's designated to my husband for date nights and family time.
And I'm going to bring this up just because I am a workaholic,
Okay.
and just being honest.
Right.
But I mean, that is also a sign too of being a workaholic. I mean, it really is.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I think, when we start out, we want to make ourselves available 24/7, and we don't want to miss that opportunity. So we're all business focused. And I think over time, then we learn, okay, you know what? We need to find the balance, because it's healthier and it's better for our overall well-being as well.
I agree. I still have trouble with balance.
And then in the winters, my husband and I, we go to Florida. And, while I'm down there, I still make time for work and I make time for pleasure.
See, we all need your knowledge of all the pleasure for sure.
Exactly. Exactly.
What advice do you give for other women who are maybe just starting out in business?
I would say that you need to make a plan. You need to have a budget, because when I first started out, I had this huge plan, right? Where I was opening a wellness center, and I was hiring people and bringing in massage therapists. And I had this grand vision, but I didn't realize that it would cost money. And over a couple of years, I created a lot of debt because I wasn't prepared. So, and I would also advise to understand your beliefs, because negative beliefs can hold us back. Mine was fear of failure. So I had to work on that belief that whatever I'm doing is I can be successful by surrounding myself with like-minded individuals, self-love, self-care. That also is, instrumental in building a business.
Yeah, I love the fact that you brought up, who you're surrounding yourself with.
Mhm.
Our top 5 people we surround ourselves with are who we are, right?
Exactly. And we compare ourselves. I went down that path of comparing myself and, thinking I will never be as successful as them. And again, it takes you off track, and you just got to
And our
focus.
path,
Right.
go ahead.
And I was just going to say, you just got to focus on your own path, your own goals, and believe in yourself and be confident.
And all right, what about the women who have been in business for a while and they're struggling a little bit? I think you have some good advice for them.
Yeah, I would say it's their belief system. I really do. If they believe they're not going to be successful, they lack confidence and self-worth, then they're not going to attract success. So I've learned, through meditation of practicing those beliefs and meditating on what I believe will attract success. And it works.
So I'm going to bring up meditation for us for a minute, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And how do we get rid of the noise? How do we get quiet?
Yeah, and a lot of us don't. So for what helps me is guided meditation, is listening to somebody's voice that will guide me. So that helps to distract me from my mind wandering. And if it wanders, then it's normal. I just focus on breathing, get back to my breathing and back to what I'm focusing on.
And I believe you told me earlier you have tons of self-help books, correct?
Yes.
Available. All right. And
Yes.
where are those available at? And plus your
Those
new
those are available on my website, which is www.aspiringedgewellness.com. So I think there's like 56, and they're like workbooks. So you can download them, you can print them, and they're workbooks that have thought-provoking questions that will guide you through, let's say, building confidence, managing anxiety. So they're great little tools and resources that help my clients and anyone else that may be interested in self-improvement.
That's unique. And tell us about your book. I want to hear about your book.
Okay,
Yeah,
so my book is called Heal the Pain, and it's transforming parental abandonment, betrayals, and eating disorder into peace, purpose, and self-discovery. So it's my whole journey from being young, my challenges, my struggles, my recovery, right through to creating my business. And the business obviously is my purpose and my passion.
You can tell it exudes out of you.
Yes. Yeah, it was the best project I ever worked on.
So normally I ask this question and tell people to go back to their 18-year-old self. I'm going to ask you to go back to your 15-year-old self. What you've learned in business and your journey you've had so far, what advice would you give that 15-year-old self?
I would give my 15-year-old self the advice that I'm enough, I'm worthy, I'm lovable, and I deserve to be successful.
That is true.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Would you give your 18-year-old self the same thing?
My 18-year-old self, I would probably tell her that it's okay to reach out for professional help.
I like that.
Mm-hmm,
That is something that most people are afraid to do.
Exactly.
And they should really do.
That's right. And not only, in their teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, they're afraid. And it's unfortunate because they're stuck when life could be so filled with happiness and pleasure.
So we went back. Let's go forward, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
So do you mind giving us tips on how you plan for the new year?
What I plan for the new year is to remain authentic to myself. That's the number one goal I have, is to remain authentic And I do that by sharing my knowledge and expertise, spreading the word of recovery, self-improvement, transformation. And I set goals. Like, for example, my book, it just launched in November, but I set a goal, a daily goal, a monthly goal, a yearly goal. So I set little goals that I can achieve.
Do you mind sharing a goal that you have for 2025 with us?
Sure. So for January, my goal is to sell 50 books in the month of January.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's good. Are you going to market it, or what is your
Yes,
plan, your strategy?
it's already marketed. It reached the number one spot in the first day, so that was so exciting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, it's been marketed. We geared up. I think I announced it in August that the book was coming, and then we did a whole coming soon marketing strategy until the release date.
Yeah, the release dates are always fun on books.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So that was very exciting. Yes. And then I've written a second book, which is called Breaking the Chains. And that's more geared towards my eating disorder and self-harm and finding self-love. So that's a whole different journey. And like, even though Heal the Pain focused on my eating disorder, it really didn't go into depth of, how it started, or it just kind of, discussed it. But the second book goes into deeper detail.
And how to break it.
Exactly. And what you need to do to break it. Yes. And the biggest thing are triggers, right?
And those, yeah. Oh, yeah. Triggers are key.
Right.
Triggers are key, especially with eating. I mean, I'm a stress eater. I'll admit it any day.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what is one key strategy that has helped you scale your business that people said, oh, you might not want to do that?
Oh, in September, I hired a social media and website expert because I was going through a rebranding, because I had been in business for, 30 years, but I saw that I was evolving and changing, and I needed to speak directly to my audience. So I needed an uplift to my website, and I needed somebody who could create like magnetic content for social media. So I hired her in September, and I tell you, it has totally changed my business.
Yeah. Don't you love when we do things like that and like the whole world just turns around for us?
Right. And what holds us back is cost. I mean, obviously you got to pay for these experts, and that's what holds me back. And I'm like, you know what? I know this will change my whole landscape. And I did it, and I'm just thrilled with the outcome.
And I think you hit such a big part here. That is what holds us back probably 90% of the time, is spending the money.
Right.
And that is the thing that jump starts us, is when we do take that leap of faith and do spend the money.
Exactly. Yeah, it truly makes a difference, for sure.
Yeah. What about, I know we have a goal for 50 books in January.
Yes.
Do we have any long-term future plans for the whole entire year that you mind sharing with us that we can keep a lookout for?
Yeah. For 2025, I have a schedule to teach Reiki, which means people that are interested can become certified, and they can incorporate that technique into their business. So I have a whole schedule for 2025 to teach the different levels. There's 3 different levels, and I'm excited to do that because I love the teaching aspect of Reiki. So that's out there, as well as, continuing to build my clientele for my transformational coaching. And I also do EFT, the emotional freedom tapping technique, and I do that as well. So those are my goals for 2025.
I feel like I'm talking to a modern day Louise Hay.
Oh,
so people don't know who she is. She is actually a very metaphysical She passed away recently,
Right.
but she is a very much metaphysical practitioner who had brought affirmations for
Mhm.
healing process to the whole entire body. And I mean, I'm sure you bring those aspects into everything as well.
Exactly. Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. If you had a superpower for just one day, what would it be?
I would love to have a wand and just swish it across every young girl and women and remove all their emotional pain and show them that there's peace and freedom if you take the step to do the work.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Hmm.
I can see it.
Right? Just swooshing everybody. Yes. Pain be gone.
You've shared a lot with us, but what is one fact about you that maybe not a lot of people know about?
I come across as very serious, but actually I'm very witty and I have a really good sense of humor. So a lot of people that know me from the business side probably don't see that until you really get to know me.
I can actually see that you're fun.
Oh,
So, what is the book that has helped or impacted you the most that brought a
my
profound
favorite author, and I'm always hooked on motivational or inspiring books, and my favorite author is Gabby Bernstein. She is a motivational speaker and she's like the queen of manifesting. So she has a series of books. And the one book that really stuck with me was called The Universe Has Your Back. And it literally teaches you that there is something greater than yourself. So your plans, your goals, teaches you how to manifest and to let it go. Because when we're in business and we set goals and timelines and plans, and then we get frustrated when it doesn't happen. So she teaches you to set your goals, have a plan, and then hand it over to the universe. And the universe will create exactly what you need in the universal time, not in your time.
I love that because, I was just looking at my goals, my vision board actually that I put together for last year. And I'm like, wow, I really only accomplished 5
Right.
of those things. Why?
Hmm.
Because there was
Right. It's
something
not
that needed
ready.
to
That's right.
happen.
That's right. And it could take months, years, right? It's just accepting that it's not our timeline.
Right.
Hmm.
And I mean,
Hmm.
I think that's harder for younger people to understand
Right.
because they want
Exactly. Right. Right. We want it now. And I know I get hooked, I get caught up in that as well, that I want it now. And that's when, take a deep breath and just trust that the universe has my back.
it. So that book is on my list now. I mean,
Yes.
all the books you guys mentioned on here. Oh my God, my book
Yeah.
list is like a million miles long.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
What about a favorite song?
My favorite song, like again, I love sentimental songs and inspiring songs. The one that sticks out is called "Brave," and it's about using our voice because we've all, have been told not to express. We've all been hurt, and the lyrics are basically to be brave, to use your voice, speak the words. So that one really sticks with me.
Do you know who the songwriter is? Or
Sarah what's her name? Sarah Bellows,
I know you're talking about. Yes, I know the song.
Barrelese. But yeah, Sarah
Yes, I know the
Barrelese.
song.
Yes, yes, hmm,
Really good song. All right,
yes,
and what about a
yes.
favorite quote?
My favorite quote is, again, I have lots, but the one that I use a lot, whether I'm doing a videotaping or in emails or in my contact, is called. What I use is learn, grow, and thrive together. And I love that because it reminds us that we don't have to do things alone, that we can do it together.
Yeah, togetherness is the key. I mean, I doing this podcast and YouTube, I have learned from so many people that their tribe is what keeps
Right.
them going. It,
Exactly.
and it's only because if they didn't have those people in their life,
Right.
they wouldn't be able to do what they have to do.
That's
Even
right.
like the young mothers, they
Oh,
have to have that.
exactly. Right. Yes.
Yeah. All right. How do you stay motivated?
Before I get out of bed, I do daily intentions. And I ask myself 4 questions. And the first one is, who will I be today? The second one is, what will I focus on today? The third one is, what will I attract in my life today? And the fourth one is, what am I committed to do today?
Okay, those are perfect. I've just added it to my protocol now
Mhm.
for my
Yes.
morning. Instead of what am I
Yes.
grateful for, those 4 questions are just
Right.
inspire that whole grateful attitude.
Exactly. And it sets the tone for the day. Now, I do grateful affirmations as well as positive affirmations, and I do that before I go to sleep. So I do positive affirmations and grateful affirmations at night, and then in the morning I do the intentional questions.
Yeah, those intentional questions,
Yeah.
everybody listening has to add them to their
Yes.
daily
Yes.
routine. You're
Right.
definitely giving them so much that
Thank
they,
you.
yeah, they're going to love it. All right.
Hmm.
What is the best way for people to connect with you in business? You already told us about our website
Yeah.
and you have those amazing ebooks.
What do you mean? Like how to,
How to
yeah.
connect with you?
Yeah, it would be either through social media or through my website.
Okay. So
Yes.
Aspiring Edge Wellness.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Awesome.
Or my name, or I have Facebook and LinkedIn is under Donna Blanchard.
All right.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you'd love to share with female entrepreneurs that we didn't discuss yet today?
I would just want to remind them that they are enough, to be confident and to dream big. You know, dream as big as you want. Find your purpose and your passion, put it into a dream and just allow it to manifest by believing and being confident.
Donna, you have been such a blessing here
Oh,
today.
thank
Thank
you.
you thank
Thank,
you so much for being here.
thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
All right. Bye.
Okay, thank you.